If you've never seen us before, we're both six-figure Airbnb hosts. I'm 22, he's 20. And the point of this video is to try new side hustles to see if we were actually just wasting our time.
And in this particular video, we are going to try car flipping. And our goal is to buy a cheap car on auction that needs as little work done as possible. And then we're gonna flip it and hopefully make a fat profit. And we're gonna give a maximum of 30 days just to give a fair test with Airbnb. We're gonna break down how much we bought it for, how much we sold it for, and the total profit. That's what we're going to give you at the end of this video, guys.
Stay tuned to find those details out. Onto the video. Okay, so it's actually day one, and step one is learn what the hell to do. Because as he said, we don't know about cars. We don't know how cars work, right? We don't even know how car flipping works. I've never thought about cars, never thought about flipping cars. So we're going to have to learn every little bit. So we've just scrolled for hours on YouTube, and what we figured out is how the whole thing works, okay? We've both gone through it for most of today, and we've all written down every single thing that we know, and we'll teach you right away. So number one, you need to buy in auction. Now, when you're buying at auction, you're buying at what's called trade value, and because we're beginners, you don't want to buy auction cars which are Cat S, Cat N, Cat D, anything like that. You just want to find a clean car which is at trade value. And part two, when you're looking through these websites, what you now need to do is look at comparables for the retail value, because you're buying at trade and you're selling at retail, right? And obviously the difference between those two figures is the profit. So you need to find comparables to make sure that your estimation for retail value is accurate. The more comparables, the better, of course. And step three, you buy the car.
But there's an even bigger twist. As mentioned previously, we want to test it and compare it with Airbnb. And for that reason, we have chosen a 5K budget. We will not be putting more than 5K, hopefully, into the car. And we're only going to do that simply because it costs about 5K to start an Airbnb business. We searched for hours and hours and hours on end. There were a lot of shit cars. I'm sure you can see it on the screen. The amount of cars which didn't drive, which were just straight ugly. Like, it was honestly so irritating. But eventually, we found exactly what we were looking for. We then paid for the car, and now we wait.
Guys, so the day has finally come. The car's actually landed. What we've gone for is a BMW 330i. You know what? I don't usually like Beamers, but this one actually looks half decent. Cue the montage. Now, why did we pick this specific car? I'll tell you, right? So number one, it was in budget. We got it for, as you can see, around 3.9K. And that meant that we had well over $1,000 in case we need to do any work on it, right? We didn't expect to do work on it, but it's always good to be quite like, to have a bit of like leeway, basically. It makes your life a lot easier, right? It actually looked decent as well. Let's not forget that, right? I don't even like BMWs, but this is a nice looking car, to be honest. When it landed, I was quite surprised. So that's also a reason as to why we took it. It also wasn't red, right? Everyone keeps saying on YouTube specifically, all the videos that we watched, everyone said that red cars are bad to buy. So we didn't get a car that was red. It had no reported engine issues, which is great. It had 99% clean bodywork. I think there was a bit of lacquer peel on like the little spoiler that the guy added, and there was one alloy which had like some curbing on it. I think I'm learning these words right now. Okay, if I'm using them wrong, let me know. So yeah, the alloy had things on it. The alloy is the thing on the wheel, by the way. But anyway, so we bought it for 3.9, right? As you'll see from the invoice. We saw similar, but actually worse cars, because ours was like an M spec, right? So we saw worse cars for like 5 to 7K listed on Auto Trader, right? So we bought it for 3.9. We see cars that are listed between $5,000 and $7,000. So we're obviously licking our lips and look pretty confident. We look pretty confident, sorry. And that's what made us go in for this particular car. Auto Trader, we ran it by, as you'll see on the screen right here. It said it's worth 5.3K in a private sale. So they've estimated that if we were to buy it and sell it, based on their analytics, which is obviously more than mine, that we should be getting roughly 5.3K in revenue back. So we were looking at it thinking, it's between 1 to 3K in guaranteed profit according to the comparables. So we were pretty confident.
But we came across the first problem. It was not ready to sell straight away. And this was for a few reasons. The first reason is that it was quite dirty. We didn't want to put any pictures of a dirty car on Marketplace and eBay. So we had to make sure we cleaned it. But because there was no fuel in the car, we had to go and collect the rags and stuff like that. We went and got the rags, and then we got straight to cleaning. Once we cleaned it up, we realized that there's still no fuel in the car, and we needed to test drive it before we list it. because if we don't test drive it, we could be selling a dodgy car. We don't want to sell a dodgy car because that's going to come and bite us back in the bum later on. So what we did was we went over to the nearest Shell and we filled up a jerry can, which didn't go very well. I know it looks smooth on these videos, but I've still got fuel all over my shoes. Once we did that, we filled up the car and we took it for a little test drive. And what this meant is that we found out that, you know what, it drives fine, it's nice and clean, and we need to start taking the pictures. But before that, what we realized is that a lot of the cars that sell quite quickly are the ones that have just had a recent MOT that has been passed. So then what we did was we went straight to the nearest MOT station and we gave them the car. But
it failed. The car decided to be dramatic now. You know, it's been good this whole time. It looks good. It's had no problems. So now it's decided to make this more interesting. Of course, we now own the car. So if it has MOT issues, that's our issues. So whatever needs to be fixed, we had to do it. We had no choice. And it eventually passed. So we paid for that. It all passed. Had the MOT. It was now ready. But of course, this was eating back into our margins. So we were starting to get a bit nervous.
So now that the MOT was passed, it's looking all clean. It drives nicely. We took the pictures and we listed it on Facebook Marketplace and eBay at £6,999. This is where the real journey begins.
So at this price point, we were trying our luck, and in week one, literally nothing happened. I'm not even joking. It was sat there on both of these websites and we didn't get any inquiries. We got a few likes, we even got a comment, but nothing serious, and nobody even wanted to buy the car. So we're now, you know, a good 7-8 days into the challenge, and we realized, shit, this is not going to be as easy as we thought. It wasn't just about buying a car, listing it, and hoping it goes. There was more to it.
So after week one, with the price being $6,999, we actually did drop it to $5,999. So we've already lost $1,000 of profit. But then we got an inquiry. Well, not really. We got whatever this says. I don't know what it says, but it looks like Moanka offered a part exchange, we think, because he literally just sent pictures of his cars, as you can see here, of the same car. And we were just so confused. So we sent her a follow-up and then we got nothing. So week two was just as bad as week one. Sorry, Moanka. I didn't know what you wanted. Maybe if you communicated with us, maybe we could have sorted something out. But literally, he said nothing after that. He just sent the cars, we sent the follow-up, and then we got nothing. It was just dead silent after that. So the week two was really similar to week one, and now we were really panicking because we thought maybe week one, it takes time, you know, like it's not going to be as smooth as just put it on sale and it's going to be gone the next day. We gave it a week, and after week two, after dropping the price by $100,000, we still got nothing.
All right, so that takes us to week three. We've now dropped the price by another $1,000. So we're now at $4,999. And you're probably thinking, why on earth are you doing that so aggressively? Again, don't forget we had the 30-day time limit to get it in. And also we just wanted to start opening the funnel to make sure more leads were coming in, because we were getting literally nothing. And guess what? The leads started coming. We were getting these types of offers, right? We were getting some offering us cash, but like way too low. Like we had people coming in at £3,000. We've listed it at $4,999. So don't know what they were thinking. Some were offering part exchange and cash. And what we did was we worked every single one like they were going to buy. We took every single lead seriously. By the end of the week, we started to realize that this meme is more accurate than anything.
All right, Paul, is this still available?
Yeah, still available.
Cheers, mate. I'll give you $650 right now.
Mate, it's up at $3,000.
500.
Nah, I can't do that, mate.
When can I come view this?
Come in and out.
Nobody actually seemed serious. It made no sense. What we started doing was getting desperate and looking at any of our options. We were looking at consignment. We were looking at dealerships. We even looked at We Buy Any Car, who took us for absolute idiots, by the way. They all looked like it was all going to shit, and we actually wasted our time and, more importantly, wasted our money. Except this. We had an inquiry from Eric, our guardian angel. He seemed serious. He seemed like he actually wanted the car. He was actually consistently going back and forth with us, and we now actually had a date agreed to meet him. It was Friday when he first inquired, and we were going to meet him on Monday at the start of week 4.
So that leads us smoothly onto week 4, where we were meant to deliver the car on Monday to Eric and completely get it gone. This challenge would have been done well within our time limit, and we would have been over the moon. However, unsurprisingly, he ghosted. That meant we were back to square one, and time was really running out. We had a week left until, imagine, we had 2 serious inquiries at the exact same time. And the best thing is, they had the same bloody name. They were both called Sam. Sam and Sam seemed very, very serious. They even scheduled viewings. These were the first or the second after Eric. But Eric, we don't talk about Eric, and Eric's dead in our mind.
No, we don't talk about it.
Yeah, forget that. But yeah, this was the first serious people, both of them, and we scheduled viewings for Saturday and Sunday. They were literally fighting for earlier viewings. We made them aware of each other just to obviously push the urgency, and they were literally going back and forth with their wives to get earlier viewing dates. But the thing is, if they came on the weekend, that would actually be just over our 4-week limit, our 30-day limit. So what this means is that we needed to get it gone by Thursday. Thursday would have been the 17th of April, which is exactly 30 days after we got the car. And after going back and forth with Sam 1 and Sam 2, eventually Sam 1's wife agreed for him to view the car on Thursday. And then Sam 2's wife agreed for him to view the car on Friday. So Friday the 18th and Thursday the 17th, we had 2 serious viewings lined up. And then came the day. It came to Thursday. Again, 30 days after we first got the car. And someone was set to arrive and potentially buy the car. Did he come? Did he not? He came. He actually did arrive, to our surprise, and we were actually raving. In our head, we were like, you know what? The first person to view the car is surely going to take it. You come all the way to here. He came from London. He came all the way to here to view a car. Like, if you don't take it, I'm sure it's such a waste of time for you. But the thing is, he didn't go down without a fight. It was a hard hour of negotiating. But before that, we had a whole hour of getting to know him. So it was an hour of getting to know him, then an hour of negotiating, going back and forth. Eventually, after 30 hard days of waiting, dealing with bullshit inquiries, speaking to so many different people.
Mwanka.
And Mwanka, speaking to Eric. I'm not going to say his name too loud. But oh my God, after 30 excruciating days, the car was sold. It was paid by bank transfer. He literally bank transferred it on the spot, and we managed to get it gone within the time frame. Kind of.
Now that all is done and we're here, car is sold. Let's talk numbers. Was it even worth it?
First of all, we bought it, as you can see from the invoice, for £3,946.18. Then, the first time we had to fuel it up, we put £14.84 worth of fuel into that jerry can. And then the rags we bought in the car, that cost us a whole £2.62. The MOT, because it failed, so it needed to have some work done. In total, it costed £180. Then to list it on eBay, it actually costed £19.99. And because the car was sitting there for so long, we had to make sure we kept on driving it just to make sure that the battery was still alive and it still works, sort of thing. And that's why we had to fuel it up again. So that fuel costed again £14.84. And then the thing is, when you list on eBay, it only lasts 30 days. And on that Thursday, we had to relist it just in case someone didn't buy. And that's why we spent another £19.99 for a few hours of listing. So in total, we spent £4,198.46.
Now sold, how much did we actually make in terms of revenue before factoring out those expenses, right? So as we said earlier, Sam was not going without a fight. I'll be honest. Yes, we've scaled in property. Yes, we're good at negotiating in property. When it came to cars and it came to this sort of time frame, he really did have us, right? So we were quite desperate to get the deal done. And having someone there and being at that point where I just felt like, okay, fine, we finally have waited. We've dealt with all that stuff. It's now time to get rid of this car. He told us he was happy with everything, but he just would not go unless it was, sorry, he would not take it unless it was 4.7K. 4.7K. So what we did, we shook hands, we accepted that amount. We realized, why not lock in some profit right now as opposed to having a car sitting in a driveway? Because the expenses were going to keep adding up, right? What would have kept happening is we would have had to keep driving it, cleaning it, listing on eBay, and the expenses would have kept adding up, and it would have just been longer than we wanted it to be. We wanted this whole video to be wrapped in the 30 days, and luckily, because he offered us the right price and we're happy with that price and he paid it on that day, it was all done in 30 days. So 4.7K is exactly how much we sold it for.
We were left with a total profit margin of £501.54 for 30 days of excruciating, absolute pain, right? And what that was in ROI is actually 11.9%, and that's in 4 weeks. So that's it for the video. I hope you guys did enjoy that. If you did, please leave a like and comment any other side hustles that you think we should try. We've had phone flipping, we've had so many different ones, but we want you guys to decide. So please comment down below and leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. If this video gets 200 likes, we'll be doing an RS3 next. Take care.